Hello everybody, I don't know if you can hear me, give me a second. There we go. Okay, it's live now. Refresh. There we go. Live now. Refresh. So audio is working. Right now I want to we're gonna play the beginner's guide today, so that's all we're really gonna do today. Let's just begin the game. The game crashed. Amazing. The game actually crashed. Wow. Give me a second. So, OBS can't find the window now, which is just amazing. Alright, I'm having some technical difficulties now. That's just amazing. Cannot believe it. Alright, give it a second. There we go. Maybe I accidentally hit the quick button. Okay, you can find the beginner's guide now. Here we go. Beginner's guide now. Here we go. Okay, so beginner's guide now. Here we go. Okay, so beginner's guide now. So we're gonna play this now. Let's see, options, video, full screen, advanced options. Let's find this filter. Let's make it like 16. VSync enable. Everything else looks fine. Okay. That's fine. Audio. Audio. Closed captioning. Full captions. You can just have full captions. Audio quality. Hi. Go back. Key. Gamepad. I don't have gamepad. Reverse mouse. Wall mouse. What the fuck is wall mouse? It's the sprint button. Duck. Interact. Why is the 2 interacts? Can I set the O? Can I set this one to like F or something like that? F, and then set the duck button to E. Is this sprint button? No. Key slash, I see. Y. Great, so now it should be E for duck and F on track. Let's go back, let's start the game now. It's only the intro. Begin the game. Please make sure audio is on. It is on. Controls. Alright.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters.
Here's here. Also, can I, like, audio? Where does it set the captions? Laptop power savings overlay position. Can you make it like bottom left or something like that?
These color.
That did not change the location of the let's go top. That did not change the location of the captions.
Abstract blobs and
I'm looking gonna go check if the audio is working. Let's see, options, video, here, also.
With some personal stuff.
Okay, the audio in the game is working. So apparently this game might give you a mental breakdown, according to the reviews. So we'll see about that.
Possible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town. Instead, this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. Black? He doesn't put them onto the internet,
doesn't have a text
makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
That's something that I do. A little quick story time. I'm probably gonna have more of these. As a game developer, it is very easy to abandon projects. They take a lot of work, and like putting in that effort is quite hard. At the moment, I got some motivation issues that I'm working on resolving right now to make myself more motivated and more productive. It was good that I found that one. It was good that I found that one fucking Reddit post about it. That goes over exactly what to do to fix motivation as a game dev. And some of those things I did once, but I dropped them for various reasons. But now I'm going back to doing them again so I can hopefully fix my motivation and continue to work on my game. And on any future projects that I might have. So, yeah.
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder.
Oh my god. That sounds funny.
So, you know,
this was just
how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com.
There's holes in the floor.
Okay, that's
and
about it for introduction.
And there's a green box.
Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
What is this? Oh! Resolution status.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I lost all my bullets. I don't have any more.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
It's just a cube. It's just a square. Wait a minute. Did he really use a square as like the skybox? Alright.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. No, I wanted to complete it.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
What?
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
God damn it. I can't leave. Oh my god. Where did my gun go? Fuck it. I
Let
died.
me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Alright. You flow through the entire thing. Oh, that's the lava.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after
Oh my. Okay. Damn.
leaving this one behind.
What is this? Is this the back rooms? The past was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, you can even see through the floor. Amazing. Why can't... Is this so... This is a maze, isn't it? What am I meant to do? I can only walk backwards.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
Shit.
Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
This actually seems pretty unique. It would be an interesting game mechanic, although a very annoying one. You could make an entire parkour game. A first-person parkour game where you can only parkour backwards. Stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
That was short. What is this? Oh, I meant to go this way. You are now entering. Is this a horror game?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. I win December now.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Wait,
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, these seem like experimental games. Oh, wait. The wind.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself. A room that's warm and
Wait a minute, I gotta read this.
nice and filled with little ideas for games.
I mean, a game of only concept art and so on would be cool. Sadly, I haven't really gotten into making concepts for my game yet. But every game is based on some sort of concept art, of some concept.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold
Address and Valley, a group of
or distant.
press reporters.
He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that.
It
can be a very slow climb to get there.
for 3 hours. Stand on an X and stare at the bear for 3 hours. Wow. There's so many of these. Press U to surrender. Play as the camera filming an advertisement. That is cool. That was a lot of game ideas. I don't have time to read them all. But some of them did seem pretty nice. Maybe you could make them into games, just random thoughts. What is that fish?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I solved it. What do you mean? No. I'm spamming F. Wait a minute, I locked myself. Oh.
forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Alright.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Wow. This game has a lot more to it. Wait a minute.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it
Wow.
funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't know. Oh wait, we're back here again. It's been updated, I guess. You are now
Aha! So, this,
exiting.
combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
March of 2009. The Great and Lovely Descent. Give me a second, because it's still live. I just wanted to check that. Where am I?
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and
We started the
cannot
level.
do. So in
I
other words,
didn't
the
get to
engine
see it.
is a set of tools.
Alright, here we go. The Great Descent. Didn't get to see the house disappear. Else that's a bug.
Let's talk about video game
Yeah,
development
what's
for
a
a
bug?
second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if you wrote the engine yourself, you could literally do whatever you wanted. But engines are not meant to limit what you can do. They're meant to allow you to do everything. Which does come at a cost, sadly. With Unreal Engine, it's the fucking large size of it. It's like 150 gigabytes.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Fall down all of these?
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making.
That is true, by the way. I can confirm that from experience. In Unity, back when I used it, there wasn't, in the version that I was using, there was really limited AI support. Unless you wanted to use the outdated garbage or a package, you had to use those were your only two options. And there isn't many guides for the outdated AI system that Unity had, that had been deprecated many years ago. And your only alternative was to go out and buy a AI engine. So I was basically forced to either spend some money on an AI engine or just not have any AI in the game. So I chose to not have any AI in the game because the engine itself, well, didn't have any um any AI tools that was still being developed on. It only had some outdated, deprecated ones that still worked with the engine, but probably had some limitations and probably didn't work super well.
You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
This prevents me playing like what was it called? What are these half invisible blocks? Oh, this kind of reminds me of how to disaster survival, whatever that game is called in Roblox, the staircase. Is that a light? It's obvious that his games have improved. I mean, just look, there's no more floating boxes. And like overall, the game looks a lot better now.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Okay.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments.
I mean, that in these types of games, that's not what makes them so amazing and pretty. The thing that does it is like just like how unique they are. I don't think I've ever seen something like this in any game that I've ever played. So I would probably defend Coda, saying how this is one thing that makes the games that he makes unique. It's the fact that there's random stuff that you just have to wait forever before something happens. So yeah.
Over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Oh my god, the light is now hanging on the ceiling.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Yeah, it's just something unique about these small, like, games made by, like, new game developers that have no experience making games. Like, I don't know what it is, but these types of games are just super unique. Like, they defy everything that a game is. And that makes them super unique.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Two. Oh. Oh, we don't have an answer. Oh, we can't. We don't have an option to select the box. To select, like, to chat. We have to lie. Oh my god. See, that what makes these games so like unique and stuff. It's so unexpected. You would expect it to, have an option to share the solution, but no. This game does a 180 and doesn't do that. Like, I've never seen a game do that. So, yeah, that's what makes these indie games so great. What is this? Oh. Why doesn't the character models have textures? Alright.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Oh, this is the space between the doors. I see now. A house. Houses. What is
It's a
this?
lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
That's why you make prototypes. You can use a prototype as a reference point to how the game should be like. It doesn't need to. It could be the most buggy prototype ever, but the prototype should be like a reference point for what the game should become. So that's why a prototype is so important. If you don't, then the game could very well end up becoming something completely different by the time you're done. But with a prototype, you can basically you have a reference point of how the game should be like. Without that prototype, you don't have a reference point, so you don't have as clear of an idea of how the game should be like, which is why a prototype is important.
He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
This kind of feels like my game development journey right now. Now, I will admit, I can show you guys after we're done here some of my older projects, although I'll have to download Unity again, so that might take a bit of time, but look, we can just go watch some of my videos or something else. But yeah, that is all that. But yeah, as for Unreal Engine, I mean, I got Core too. I developed games in Core, and I can show you them too. I just need to install Core as well, but luckily I have a separate. I have a video with all of the games, so in case you're interested, I can show you. So yeah. But I think that's like what makes these games so great too. You have to kind of like, it's kind of like a puzzle trying to figure out what these games represents, what their meaning is. That's what makes these games so good. Originally, my games were not really like that. My games were very basic and simple too. But then I started working on bigger projects like Analogic. And now we're here. With currently my biggest project being Analogic, but after this I'm gonna go for something even more ambiguous than Analogic. I know maybe starting off with Analogic was a bad. Maybe I should have done like a smaller project first. It's something that I've considered. Maybe I have chosen a project that's a bit too ambiguous, but I won't really be able to figure this out. I'll need to think more about that to actually figure that out. So, yeah. Restart level, I didn't get to read that. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can learn notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Oh. This room not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it, and very patient with me. And I cooled off
Everyone read this.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they
I
convey
want
a
to
sense
tell a
of
secret.
loneliness.
Once upon a time
I
I
see this
did.
person who's filled with thoughts
Define
and feelings and beliefs
I'm king
and
of the
has no
world.
way to express them except as scattered and unheard
Hello.
voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Balls. Balls.
But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
Yeah, there's like another thing that I believe in too. Every game has like it contains part of the developer behind it, which I think is pretty cool. Every game that you've played, everybody who has worked on it, you can like kind of tell how they are like based on the game. If it's obviously a big game with like hundreds of developers, you can't. But if it's like a small indie game with like a few developers, you can tell how those developers are like based on the games they make, because it's like part of the developers inside the game. Of course, with AAA games, that's not the case, but with smaller indie games, that is. You can like tell that a part of the game developer himself is part of this game. And I think that's pretty awesome.
And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
So it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I feel like living because nothing will ever be majestic as that. I never want to oh shit, I can't read the text. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. Crying now and plan on whipping my ass out. I must go now to do that. Fuck. Do not be afraid. Do care. This game is so nice. This game is no nice. I would like it when I could. Do you feel like a hero yet? In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. All of them. This summer you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Cool cabin, bro. We're running out of space soon. We will suffocate. There are too many messages in this area. Why? Hey, I can type here. I'll rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. The guy over there wrote much wrong. Well, I want to find the one that says balls. I think it's the one up here, right? Yeah, it's the one over here. No, it's not. Which one was it then? Balls, this one. How many of these notes are there? So many paths to go down. Oh wait, I can't go down here. I have to go this way. Alright. Boring. I can assure you, guaranteed that there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Ah, I fell down. But as for what the fuck? I refuse to believe. I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Recognize me, please. Oh, there's a staircase. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. Ah, I fell down the stairs. You can see a step up here. Nope, nothing. Yeah, ah, I hit the wall, the invisible wall. Did the game? Oh no, it's just like there's nothing here. Go back. Okay, it's still alive. I just wanted to check if it was. Don't listen to that guy. A free t-shirt. Need other side door. Why you so? Mix game includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Opens. Sam. Door. How open? This actually feels like other people wrote it though. Someday I will meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling, internal good feeling I get. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. It's not very crowded here. Scared of writing something. Don't want to feel judged. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. And don't bother. You can go in here, I think. Well, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. This is why I get off. I failed to write anything here. Clearly you did not. I am compelled. Stop, turn back, proceed further will only result in misery. Take my hand, let's jump together. Kippa shapes ornation. What? I don't know what that is. What is that painting? It's art. It does not matter if you ever get over here. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. I think this is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. This is a note. Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Damn, we got a lot of notes now to read. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Etherical. I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. Devil Tower Star. It's about how this game is tears, and you all suck. Stop pretending you are other people. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, you can activate multiple notes at once. That's cool. We will all die someday. Who are all of you? Whoever made this has issues. Well done, all of you. Painting, what does it mean? Art. That's what I said before. Hey guys, how's it going? Just hanging. Hello, I'm trying to speak. I think about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. From up here, it just looks like dots. It does actually. Stop faking it. Carrot shapes. Nation. Devil Tower Star. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Maybe Alfie will someday. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. Let's continue. There must be a reason for it though. This terrible secret, he kept it well. What? I beat the game. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
What? Scared of writing something. Don't want to feel judged. Escape, need and escape. He cut it up and spread it between worlds. Almost there. I have seen everything. I have traveled the world. I have never told anyone. I wish there were notes in the real world. Become one with the spiraling nonsense. Oh, it disappeared. Wait a minute. What the fuck? It disappeared. No. That back again. Downwards. Keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
You close your eyes and wish for it really bad. Almost at the end. Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've been here for literally an hour. What the fuck do I do? Help. Help. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how do you solve it? Developer, answers please.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment. A few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
I'm heading back to the start. Later, guys. Disappears under the fog. Guys, it's not so bad in here. No solution. No answer, I think. There's no second switch. Oh wow, there's nobody after this except for one guy. How do you leave notes? You just left one. Oh. What the fuck? It is here again. Are you there? Please say something. It can't be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so difficult to talk? Speak, 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 speak. May to June 2009. Alright. Porn stars die too. What the fuck?
Just spin its own wheels for a few
Wait, what the fuck?
minutes. Hang with it.
Pawn stars die too. What the
Okay, this one
fuck?
is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
What is this? There's a well over there. Picture of city. Some bitty buildings in the city. Again, the same picture. Come on, there has to be something more exciting here, right? Whoa.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What happened to the assets? Oh. What furniture out to go in the center of the room? What? Okay, now, what about along the wall of the room? What the fuck? I think we should light up this room a bit. No, free sounds exciting. And a table. You need a table. We already have a table. Who are you? Why exactly are you doing this? I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Oh, table. What the fuck?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Alright. So, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good. Go over to the vertical and click on it. Turn it slightly. Now turn the floor off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it a little. Left, it's this one. Finally touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. What? Return. Oh, we're back here
And of
again.
course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Oh.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
This. Wow. Oh, we're back here again. To the left. The phone booth. Hello? Who is this? From after you escaped the prison. Yummy. So you are trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's why I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and the things will be the exact same as before. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot if we did or not. I think we did. Wow.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm starting to feel like that review I read was not a joke.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
There's a door up there. Oh my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. Might miss a world that would have been.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including
Everyone
this new and
knows
improved
throwing
chat
some
system,
hands
which he
make
started
lousy
using from this
homes.
point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work. And
Wait, what? I
this
didn't
particular
get to
game
here.
took 2
Give me a
months to
second.
create So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
I was reading the text
To
to
me,
get to
this
here.
environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between. You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games,
Yeah.
including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. And lousy homes make home loneliness. Are we cleaning this whole place? Clear the table. To the bathroom. Oh, wait, wrong button. What? No. No, it was stupid, so I never mind. What? There's blood on them? What the fuck? Also, it's ketchup, I don't know. Well, in the bedroom? Oh, over here, I see. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense
What?
set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
That is true. That is certainly true. Be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to the future
I know
you.
that Coda really liked this game.
Present
Of all of his work, actually,
Presently
this was
wants
the only
to
one
smooth
that he
out the
called
rug
me up to
in
ask
the
me to come
bedroom.
over and look at
Believe it or not.
This was
Trust
during a
me
period
on
of a
this
few
one.
months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
I feel like this game has a sad ending. I really do. Don't know why I feel so weird about saying that. I get it, that's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Yeah, you're right, that's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Will you please clean up the books? Thanks. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are real
I'm
nice.
glad he found some peace.
Would you go over and straighten them up a bit? Can't have these folks come home to a messy couch. Question, do you
But,
enjoy
of
this?
course, it can't last.
Oh,
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
that is true as well. This game feels super personal. Feels too personal. Oh, the lamp.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Yeah. At some point you have to move away from the things that keep you down. Just you gotta stop worrying about them, caring about them, because all else it's going to destroy you. Wow. That review that I read, I read a few ones, but one of them said that it completely broke them, and I think I finally understand why. This, by the way, is only early in the game. Items you love
This
are
one
members
gets a
only
bit
prizes.
goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, "Whoa, this person is better, it's a better human being than I am." Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know is so well? Oh my god, we're so well developed. Oh my god, I can't finish reading it. I'll restart the level.
This one gets a bit goofy.
I'll just wait till the dialogue comes back out again. Yeah. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not how to is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly. This is
About
easy.
halfway
It
through
is
the game,
so easy. It is so
perspective
easy.
shifts.
Being perfect is effortless. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, that's just a black hole
And you
now?
play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
Oh
And
my
also you
god.
can move around the classroom now.
This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Kids should not follow their dreams. Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you're taught yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path for what? Yo, I'm developing assisted growth, so what the fuck? Ha ha ha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? There's no truth, there's no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do you? Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys. Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out. So what I think the gray boxes represents are thoughts that the teacher has about himself. Nothing, no one. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone run, run.
I fell pretty hard for this one.
Perfection,
I feel
perfection,
like it's one of the
perfection.
most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
You're
I
right.
think about this game a lot these days.
We're in 2010 now.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Maybe it's just burned out. Oh! Oh, my ears. Alright, the performance is beginning. Please, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's a dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her. To gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. This is stressful. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all of my hopes and dreams. These are all terrible options. I don't know. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's all you need. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you'll learn to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you had to make? You're messing it all up again. What the fuck, man? You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. You not realize how important this was for me. I'll never get text disappeared too quickly. I want to read the entire thing, you know.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
I mean, here's the thing, he could just have been burned out or something like that. That I know can cause significant delays to do stuff. But I don't know. I don't know Coda that well. Happy. Focused. Wise. Successful. I'm just gonna do the same response as I usually do. Oh, is this how it feels like talking to people, guys? Talking to people. I don't usually do that. We're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. You do realize how important this was for me. I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everyone was writing like this. I don't know. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh, and this is the end. Awesome. Is it though? Oh. It's a prison. Oh wait, I thought it was over. I have to walk this entire way. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, okay, yes. Now this is working. No, cancel, restart.
Next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
This. Oh my god. It's starting to feel super personal. I don't like this. Why did I decide to play this on stream? It was a bad idea anyways. We only got like a half hour left of this game, then we're done. Everything was waiting on this. Alright. I think the like text that the yellow text is meant to represent Coda's thoughts when he talked to people. That is my interpretation of it. Like he was thinking about everything he was saying. And like he was thinking he was gonna mess it up or something like that. That's what I think this is about. Yes, now this is working.
The game
This
ends
is
with
what
this
it was
eerie
like.
premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Obvious that to play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Wow. What is this game? I'm starting to feel like this game was made for me. I really am. Wow, what's going on? I can't die like this. I can't die like this. Something enormous just did. Why did I go blind? I don't know why. It happened to me too. There was a giant door. And then my vision went black. I can't see anything. Oh my god. Help, I'm blind. Oh my god, the door is coming towards us. Giant door. Please someone talk to me. Oh shit. What's going on? Oh shit.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Oh, wait a minute. The only way to stop is to speak to something that, what? I guess I have to be quicker. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
We're getting to the end now. Hello, where am I? What is this? Oh. A forest. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. What happened? Did something change?
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Perfect. Come along, I'll show to you. I meant to press free button.
From my perspective,
Unless free was just the same.
at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Here we go. Okay, now what?
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
I need to see it to know why it stopped. Hey, I recognize this, and it stopped. There was a machine that kept me going. Deal, hello? I'm completely out of ideas. Hello, is there anyone here? Oh, that's what I said! Oh, that's what I said.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
We're back here again.
It didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
I assume this is the final game. The Machine. God. Yeah. Glad to see you arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. No, I didn't get to finish reading. I'm just gonna restart the level, it's fine. Alright. Give me a second. The machine. You stop.
And of course, it's the machine.
And we're back here again. Oh, we got a gun. But there's no machine this time. Oh. I get to shoot it. Code. I'll make sure work dies here. Code, I'll make sure you are known forever. I meant to do a different one. Oh, probably doesn't matter. I meant to do the first one.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of. Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give it
This is gonna go badly.
maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
The Tower. Yeah.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. this room actually has a maze in it.
Oh. Oh no.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze. And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on. The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally, for a moment, while I had that, I liked myself. And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay. more. More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more, more, more. It's like a disease. Solution, solution, solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
You know, this game is really special in some ways. It's like one of those games that changes your perspective on life a lot, like Superliminal. I quite like these games. They help me deal with my own problems by making me look at them in different ways. Ways that I've never looked at before. That's what makes these games great. Something that nothing else has been able to do. Not even I can get myself to do that. I need someone else to do it for me. To make me do that. I don't know what to think about this, but this game is amazing. And I'm so happy that I got around to playing it now. Even if it is only 1.5 hours long. It's still good. And I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't played this game, because I don't know what it's gonna do, but I hope it's gonna benefit me in some way, having played this. Well, we got a lot of problems, and we'll have to deal with them. I am not great at dealing with them, but I try to anyways, because even if I'm not good at it, not doing anything is worse. I guess it depends on how you interpret the game, but I really don't know what to say. I'm just thinking about the past 2 hours and everything I went through. And how beautiful that all was. I know I didn't speak for the last 20 minutes of this game, but I was just thinking. A lot. Oh, I guess the stream is over now. I'm probably gonna. It's 12 a.m. now. I should go to bed. Anyways, good night, everybody, and hope you have a nice day or night. Goodbye.